It's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Thanks for tuning in and welcome back. On this episode, I've got Banziduck, top tier in a 357. He's driving his Russian Object 257 on Himmel's Dork, and he's spawned into the north spawn. He's headed to the middle. Wanted to show this game because it's a good game, a lot of damage, and it's a spot I don't usually go to, so let's take a look at how you fight potentially over on the west side of Himmelsdorf as opposed to going to Tank Alley or up the hill, which is in general what I do. I typically don't go to the west because it's a bit of a stalemate. However, you'll see what Bonzi does here. It is kind of interesting. Immediately he goes through the middle. All kinds of guys stacked up, looking through windows and whatnot in the middle. And it's one of the reasons I don't go here. There are a lot of little sniping opportunities, and it's just a stalemate of people peeking and poking through windows, which is not really a terribly great way to be offensive in the game. Still, let's take a look at what Bonzi does. As he zings across here, he's going to take some aggro from people. They all see him, so they're going to take shots as he goes. Barinka gets one hit in on the side. The T-44 gets some damage, and he's going to come to this corner, which is a pretty typical spot for people to go. And you'll find out kind of why I don't really like this spot. He's got a lot of guys behind him. There's at least a T-10 down there. And now we're going to play this sniping shots down long corridor game here. Bonzi's team is headed for the hill. He's got an okay group in Tank Alley, and I would say that for my money on this game with a 357 and I'm in a 257 top tier, I'd be in Tank Alley punching face. What we're going to learn here as Bonzi plays this game is why it is that the Russian tanks, especially the heavies, are so good in situations like this where they get shot from multiple directions. It's a combination of strong armor and weird angles, which almost exclusively only the Russian tanks have, especially in all directions. We'll come in here in just the way the game mechanics work. Tons of bounces from every direction. He actually hits this shot, which somebody would say that Stalin guided that shot, which will then go into the tinfoil Russian tanks OP blah blah blah. But anyway, I digress. Takes a shot with a auto aim, no zoom, and nails the poor 34-100. Sorry, T-44, attempting to get into the middle. The 34-100 is right here. He eats another shot right into the mantlet, scoffing the mantlet right through. And Bonzi has a cool 1822, but he is in a bit of a crossfire here, which is another reason why I don't particularly like this spot. You'll notice that the hill is getting obliterated by the Reds, and now they have shots on him. The Progetto shoots down, but bounces because of the weird angles on this heavy tank. There's another bounce off the front, which is not a surprise. The front is quite strong. Another bounce from the T-54. There's 3 bounces, and he has taken 1,060 damage that he bounced. Finally, somebody gets one into his side. Taking a look at the Scorpion, and he crosses over, looking to finish off the T-34-100. Bounce, bounce. Actually, one went through. No, bounce. Critical hit, right? Critical, but no damage, no track. Another bounce. These poor guys cannot do a single thing to Bonzi, and he moves around. They're attempting to come off the hill, but there's also the requisite campers, and Bonzi makes an interesting decision here. I would have definitely pushed straight up that side road, and he actually critical hits the T-54 with that shot. Holy cow, what is going on here? 2,170 bounced. Simply driving around, getting shot at by multiple camping guys. None of that appears to have been gold, so that's going to help him in that regard. Like I said, I would have pushed straight through the road, come up underneath the guns up top. They wouldn't be able to shoot you anymore, and you'd be more quickly, or you would come more quickly to the aid of the IS-3, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But that is what is on his mind. He comes around the corner. IS-3, T-29 are trying to take on an ISM in the Tiger 1. ISM is extremely strong in the front. Why? Because it's a Russian tank. No, we're not going to get back on that. The ISM is starting to lose, but Bonzi brings his big kid on the block, and this is, again, had you been up here to begin with, I think this fight here is over a long, long time ago, and it opens up your freedom of maneuver. That other corner over there kept some guys busy, but it really brought, and it's something I've talked about in regards to, you need to back up a little more so you can get down to his lower plate. Bad depression on this gun. It's somewhat in regards to what I've talked about on bringing campers' guns into the game. By being over there, if they win the hill, that lets them have something to shoot at you. If you're here, then them winning the game doesn't immediately bring you under fire from them. Plus, this is an important part of the map right here. If you can clear them out of here, it gives you the opportunity to move right or left, ideally back up to the hill to try to stop their hill win. Or you can flex back over and deal with guys over on the west side if for some reason they had pushed, but that's not really what happened here. The T10 finally comes around. He spends most of the game camping over where Banzi was, and was not as wise as Banzi as to flex and move and become effective as soon as Banzi did. So finally he moves over when his team loses over here, and now he's in big trouble because he's getting multiple tanks. However, there's quite a few tanks left on the board enemy-wise. They do own the hill, and there's a 122 lurking around behind him as well. So Banzi's doing his best to take on this T10. Tracked, puts another shot, finally fixes the track, and he's able to move on to the T10. Puts a ram into there, and oops, down goes his buddy. It's another shot in the T10. People shoot him from all directions. Turns his armor towards the KV-122, and then does a nice job here of ramming him and keeping that KV-122 from getting around behind him. If the KV-2 had had any kind of brains, number one, he'd be firing HE, and number two, he'd have not rammed Banzi, he'd have gone around him. And at which point, he'd had a better opportunity to put a shot into Banzi's side. Okay, HE. No, he does not load HE. He takes another bounce, and that is the end of the KV-122. Misplay on his part. Would he have beaten him with HE? I don't know. Maybe if he'd hit him in the side, he might have got enough. But as it is, he's not able to do so. And now it is just a Progetto 46 and an artillery for Banzi to clean up. He's bounced 3,870. Done 5,322 and assisted in 585 with 5 kills. Banzi makes an interesting decision right here, and it's probably a case of, because that dude's sitting there, yeah, he's sitting right there. It's probably a case of he didn't want to fire and give the Progetto the opportunity to come around and hit him. I think I would have taken the opportunity just to get rid of the artillery, because that is what you had in front of you, which is going to free up your Su-100 and your mutant over there, your M6 mutant, to support you. Because right now they're both kind of staring at this guy. I don't really understand why the mutant hasn't come around the corner and killed him, other than he's also worried about the Progetto showing up if he comes around in the open. I'd imagine you thought that artillery was going to die a lot faster than he did. So that kind of goes back to where, you know what, just take that shot, get rid of that guy, help your guys go dark, at least eventually, and bring all your guns into the game. He goes down at that point, and it looks like the Progetto was out of position, because he's also got to worry about the T20 and that other TD. Good news is that guy goes right by you. And now we are a 5v1. Now it's still a dangerous tank. If he can take you down, he may actually have some kind of a chance. This was interesting. I don't think I had to sit out in the open right here. He could have come around, taken one of your shots, and carefully aimed and taken you down. I'd have gone up and tucked up against those buildings. The Su-100M1 gets it. That's what he does. That's what I would do. The mutant looks like he's going to do some cutoff action here, see if he can't slow this guy down, or maybe find him, put a shot into him. And then one of you looking one way, one of you looking the other way is the way to go. Okay, cool. The Progetto unfortunately kills the super, but he's down to 12 seconds. And why he doesn't just charge in and try to make this thing happen, I'll never know. Neither will he. He actually goes the long way around. He's going to come around this corner. Now, the other thing here, Banzi, is there is no reason to be rocking back and forth. I would just stop, zoom in, and wait for that guy to come around the corner and just nail him right in the side. Both of you are doing this rocking thing. This is kind of a habit that a lot of players have in a lot of situations. You're not trying to really avoid shots right now. What you need to do now is set up for a shot. You know he's coming in that direction. If he doesn't come in that direction, he's gone the long way and he's going to lose anyway. Who cares? Now, it is close in, so you are going to get the shot into him. It's not like you're going to miss at this range, although you never know with the RNG. But not with Stalin guiding your hand all game. And that is the end of it. Don't quite get him dead. 5,749, 4,110 blocked, and 585 spying. What a great game, man. Nicely done. For everyone out there, good example of fighting over on the west side. He didn't stay there too long. I talked about some of the things I didn't like about it. He saw some of the things I don't particularly like about it as far as the direction he was taking shots. Without the armor of that thing, he gets shredded pretty much by the guys up on the hill, and he's out of the game. Right? From the initial position, then they take the hill, and he's pinned down. Those guys would have absolutely ate his lunch. probably, had he been more lightly armored, he wouldn't have made that move into the middle. He'd have hid more, but that's even problematic as well. He's pinned down right there. Doesn't have a lot of options, but as it was, he's able to use the strengths of the tank, move back over to a critical area on Tank Alley, which personally I would have gone to first, and then clean those guys up and continue to be the big dog on campus. Nice job there, Bonzi. Good game. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, we will see you.